Communications Committee, I'd like to call the meeting in order. We'll start with a roll call. James Westfall here, and Linda Johnson
here,
and Charles Manning is present, all present. And our first item on the agenda is approve the meeting minutes from March 4. And
I'll make a motion to approve.
No, those are that's citizen comment first, and then
I'm sorry,
June 3rd.
We have a commenter here.
Okay, thank you. My name is Jane Durant. I live at 4350 Lighthouse Drive.
She's kind of a regular at meetings.
Yeah. And when I saw the agenda and that you were talking about, getting more residents involved with the village meetings, it was such a great topic, and the mission and vision discussion that I really wanted to come and sort of listen in. And, from my perspective, certainly a vision of, fully engaged and fully informed residents is a wonderful vision. And, I guess I have to say that when I come to your meetings, Linda, I hear a lot about engagement of residents at the Parks and Recreation Committee, and a real desire to engage the residents in your efforts, get information out directly to residents at their home with a reason to get engaged, really looking for drawing in input. I mean, it's beautiful. And I just have the sense that we have that same need in our other sort of maybe they're more business oriented committees with more, budgetary and spending and taxes and all that. But that same sense of drawing in the residents and assuring we hand them critical information so they know why they should get involved, and then get involved and provide input. So yeah, I'd love to see that. And most specifically right now, obviously there's a lot going on in the village with $20.7 million in capital investment over 5 years, debt funded, taxes going up, water rates going up by 215% in 5 years, storm going up by 330% in 5 years. And then we still have 10 more miles of water main to go. So we'll be doing this for the next 40 years. We see mention of the village approaching a deficit. And I think we all want to know when are we going to hit that? What do we have to do beforehand to avoid it? Because municipalities can't operate at a deficit. And we'd like to see that key information set going to the residents. So far, there have been no cost or tax increases noted in any communication that goes to the residents' homes. So we have newsletters, the Stroll magazine. There's been the high-level information, which is great and important. But now it's time to show them the numbers, and in something that goes to their home that is an executive summary that show them the numbers. And that will get response and input. And I believe that we we have a set of emails because newsletters go out to residents' homes on email. We could gather more. I know there's an effort to increase the number of people that sign up for notification on the packets. We've got 80 residents now, but we're trying to get more. But this pushing of the information out, the key information is important. And that takes an effort to build an executive summary on it and send it out. And we don't have an executive summary on any of that yet. And I think we need it. And we've got the Ehlers report, 70 pages. We got the Riley report, 24 pages. We got, the budget and so forth. But just something that gets to the point. Okay. And I sent you an email on the public hearings. So
we'll take that into consideration.
Okay.
And you got your 3 minutes plus some bonus minutes. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody online for public comment? Absent. Now we'll have a vote on accepting the minutes from June 3rd.
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes from June 3rd.
I'll second motion.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
It's 3-0. Administrators update. What you got?
So Hannah's working on a postcard to go out to inform residents how to sign up for the e-notify. And that will hopefully go out soon and get that done. And then the e-news was sent out last couple times, I know, but we've gotten a lot of compliments on it, on the
It was a
e-newsletter.
really good one last one.
So a lot of people are happy. They think it's too much information though. So
That's fine.
but they like it a lot. And then you all saw the Stroll magazine information out there. I think we had our first budget workshop that one new person attended. And we had a total of 3 individuals there. And
That was the first one at Windmills?
Yep.
Only 3?
only 3. And that was good. Yeah, I think that's about it. So there's another one coming with the finance committee next week on the 8th. It's in my whiteboard in there. But that's about it.
On the postcard mailing you intend to do, can you throw a QR code in there? I've never been a fan, but they're quite common. And QR code would lead us directly to signing up for alerts and village news.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, thanks. Because I that's part of the things that I was going to discuss today. And that's all I've got.
Make a note.
Okay, so as indicated, one of the discussions today will allow 15 minutes for this is values, vision, and mission. And what I would try to achieve is some consensus about what's important to us on the communications committee. Anybody want to start? And by the way, Linda, this is aimed at communications only.
Right. I had sent an email to Charlie earlier, Jim, just so you're aware, when I saw the vision and mission, because this committee already has a vision and mission statement, but that pertains more to the community as a whole. So this is just our committee's values, visions, and missions, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
Okay. Well, and I think that a little bit it's going to mirror our vision for the community somewhat.
What points in
I don't know, I just got off the golf course. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
how'd you hit them?
I won. That's
That's
all
the
I'll
only
say,
thing
which
that's
was not, I had the lowest score, but it wasn't that great. I had a 49, so not good. I mean, I think our values is going to be, to make sure that we have good communication to our residents, clear, transparent communication. That would be a value that I would suggest.
And can restate that again?
Clear,
Clear communication.
yeah, transparent. I hate that word, but residents like it.
I'll offer something here. I'm very narrowly focused in this, but it's engagement, right? How do we, the value I would cherish the most would be having our residents more in touch with us and understand what's going on. Very frankly, the kind of floated along for the last 20 years. No major expenditures. And now we're considering a number of them. And I think trying to get residents more engaged would be what I value the most.
I'll agree with that. But I think you're going to find, residents like to live here. And as long as everything's going fine, they don't really care what the board's doing. They don't really care what's going on around them to be engaged. I mean, we have these, well, we'll see how the second and the third one goes. But I think it's kind of pathetic to have 3 people show up at Wind Meadows. I mean, Wind Meadows is a third of the village.
Yeah,
A little bit more than a third of the village. And that's in their backyard. We had 3 people show up. And 2 of them weren't even from Wind Meadows. Not that that was a Wind Meadows thing, but that was a draw. I mean,
it was a good idea to have
know,
it there.
excellent idea.
I mean, we had an individual that kind of said the same thing. He said at that meeting, because people don't care. It's as long as their stuff is going, their things are fine. They don't really have a need for coming to things. Their lives are busy. Unless it really totally impacts their personal space in their yard, they're going to be there. But at the end of the day, he said, life's too busy and people just want to continue with their lives. So,
and that's, I think, what just years work have found to try and pull people in, whether it's socially or, educationally or,
community club.
Yeah. Look at the community clubs, Anyway, however, I think it's very important that we make sure that if there's people that want to be, that we offer it. And I think you do a good job with the newsletter and your article in Stroll and the website. You can Google anything. It might not be like all concise, but those are different things. The budget's, different. Well, they are different things. So you could go and type in Ehlers and you can get all the reports you want.
That's correct.
I mean, our website in the past didn't allow you to do that. It was a mess.
Well, and then, I mean, we've tried new things. We've doing the engagement sessions. We've had live events last year we did. So we've tried, hard to do a lot of different things. But, and then the new AI chat will be really nice because you'll be able to ask, a specific question on the website and it'll come right there. I'll give you that right answer. So,
yeah, good luck getting the people to use that for what that's going to.
Hey, but
I know
if it comes down the road to
if
someone
it
that
comes-
wants it fast information, that's wants the information now, and they don't want to call or
Yeah.
email.
Yeah. I mean, and then I looked at, like, we had the nice community engagement with the Park and Recreation at the wing spread, and then that got interrupted, right? And there was a good amount of people who were there to hear. Okay, but it beats 3, better than 3, right? Let's say there were 60 there. Maybe that's high.
Oh, I would say 40.
Okay, 40.
Yeah.
How many people followed up with you or Monica or Hannah? Like, hey, we didn't get the information. We had to leave.
2.
2.
And we put it in the newsletter, like, here's the link to the the presentation if you missed it. More
So
information.
there's 40 people who kind of showed interest, but really didn't show interest. Were they really interested in looking at Wingspread and getting free food, or?
Yeah, that was the draw. That was the hook of it. That's what
I
it took
know,
it.
I know.
We should have all our meetings there.
But you had 2 people who really wanted more information.
And the people that showed up, they were very just wanted to listen. They were like, not much is changing, I'm guessing. And I said, probably not. The village hasn't really changed that much in the ways of what people are interested in still. So they just wanted to sit and kind of hear the presentation.
Right.
So, but
Anyway, but I do think it's important that I think it's important that we have
we're
engagement.
better than ever before in
Ever.
communications we had nothing in the update that concerned sometimes what was going on at one point. There was never a website that communicated as greatly as it does now. And we never had information in the Stroll magazine all the time. Our partnership with Gary is better than ever before, and every person gets that information. So, I think we, and nobody was complaining during that time, about things not being communicated. So, and now they get the alerts right on their phone or on their email. So, I mean, it's kind of weird now that, there's no one, biting at the chop to get to stuff right now, but I feel like they should have been there before when we weren't communicating.
Did you? Go ahead.
Oh,
Did you? What? I think I would, or maybe members of the committee would like to see a copy of the text. A copy of the verbiage that we'll send out in this letter. One of the things where we had
postcard.
a postcard. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, visit the website to sign up for the e-notify.
I think it would be interesting to indicate that there were several good reasons, right? So this
The
village,
why on there. The
Yeah,
why?
why?
I mean, the big thing was like, we don't want to get it too crazy because you're not going to, people are going to see it and they're going to go right in the trash. And if you're not going to get it quick enough to get there, like we've got images on there and we've got like little blurbs and stuff to like quickly get to it, their attention to draw it to it. And it's like, sign up today to know, be in the know now, you
Okay.
can do it by phone or email or text. And it's like little blurbs that say which, how to do it. And, sign up to get it on your phone right away. It kind of tells you like that. And then it goes, if you don't want to use the QR code, it says, stop by the village office or sign up on the website by going on like, the resources tab, how do I tab, and then at the top of the page, go to the e-notify and sign up there.
I mean, it's easy.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
And we have the paper copies now here for those who don't want to do it on their phone.
Okay.
To Linda's point, though, I think the why is very important. And let me make a distinct observation of the why. That why for us now involves most likely, absolutely entering into debt for the first time in the village's history. Secondarily, there are, this will affect, and I'll tell you a key word here, this will affect their property taxes. Our actions as a board will have an impact on property taxes. That impact can either be no impact, right? That's one of the results,
Right.
or an increase. No matter what it is, it's not likely to be a decrease. So I think it's important to say the village is on some projects right now that have never been larger, right, than what we're looking at in the next year to 3 years.
But I don't think you have numbers that we can even give yet. We don't have a lot of that information.
You won't know until 2027 what your tax bill is going to look
Right.
like.
I'm well aware of that. And, most of the, will I be affected by increased property taxes? Well, hell, sorry, Jane, but the people who were at the meeting this morning at PFIC, most of us, let's just say from a standpoint of demographics, we will not see a lot of those taxes in terms of longevity, right? So I just think it's important to indicate why, and why you want to be in the know here.
Right. I just don't want to
I feel like
throw
the
out
hours is
there
important.
that
And we had the big advertising about come to the Ellers meeting to learn about your taxes and how it's going to impact you and how this is the first time the village is borrowing and we're
Right.
adopting this financial management plan for the village board to give decisions. And new people come, which was great.
from the last board.
So
meeting.
board meeting, we advertised to make people know
Right,
about
right.
like this is coming. Please
Right.
join us to learn about your impact. But I mean, all these projects could stop at any point we would want. They're not final yet either. So
Right. And that's why I don't think you can give information until we have final numbers and impact and
Yes, but they can follow along in the home game as it develops.
right.
So
Now you can say projects, yes, but I don't want find out how your taxes are gonna raise on there. Not that you said that. I just want to make sure.
I think we need a why, and that why involves large projects. Well,
Well, there's to say that, large projects.
while we talk about projects, the website under projects does not list municipal building.
because it's not
It's
approved.
not even, hasn't come out of committee yet.
There's no, the only thing that's approved is the design of the 4 Mile Road, and that's what's on there now. But
I understand
the
that.
design of the building is not approved, and there's nothing moving forward on that because nothing's been approved.
Whether or not it seems like a project to me because we're going to spend a lot of time on this, and people should at least be
But the
aware.
board hasn't spent any time on this. I think until it comes out of committee.
So certainly,
What if our committee says, what if the board says no? What if they bring it to the board and the board says, nope, we vote, we don't want it. Then it's not a project.
yeah, it's a project that didn't go forward, but it's currently a project. Now, I understand it's not approved, but the fact is it's a project. We're spending time on it. We've seen Taylor's report has a lot of that information in it, right? And so we've spent already time and money to take a look at.
What do you want to release from it?
That's a very good question. And what that package should look like. I think obviously it would be a way, as our public commenter said, to have all information regarding that project available. It's tied together in the same place.
Could you just look back to the previous board packets that had,
Yeah,
information
you
that was
wanna-
already disclosed, like,
Right.
hey, this is, here's the Riley proposal that we saw,
Sure.
here's the rendering from, I forget the engineering firms, but these are the items.
Right.
Like FYI, these are going to be discussed in the coming months.
Right.
Yeah, this
You
is the
can.
information that you may have missed.
Yeah, you can, but then you're gonna hear people say, I don't want to have to go through and look back at the agendas and,
Yeah, but that's to
You know,
your point, right?
but-
To your point, that's
Yeah.
not our problem, but at least we did.
right. It's
Say-
all there. I've had
Right,
people,
yeah.
talk to me, call me about the golf course and, I didn't even know that was being considered and how come I wasn't aware of that? And I said, it's been on, PFICs, it's been twice, it's been on.
Yeah, I think if you just had a landing
Been there
page,
for.
I think
Yeah.
maybe what Charlie's saying, if on the project landing page, just a link to the golf course project and the road project, and well, the road project, I guess, is there, but the golf course project and the
But see, that's
potential,
another thing.
right?
It's the potential. And I don't,
It's what I'm sorry.
the potential. The
No,
golf
I
course is-
don't disagree
know,
that, like, there is
Yeah, the
some
parking lot,
markings to
not
it.
the golf course. I don't even want to talk about the golf course. The
Yeah.
parking lot, though, is a potential project. It's not been decided yet. I don't think you,
Well, in that regard,
and then you just get people all up in arms and going, oh, what's happening with this? And, calling, and there was so much misinformation, and maybe it's good to put it out there. So you have accurate information, but there was so much misinformation about that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, we already, it's kind of seems like it's already been publicized in the packets to a certain degree. So if you
Right.
just had a centralized, like this is this, just a link back to where it is. That
Yeah.
would be my only suggestion, because it's already there, right? It just makes it
Right.
a little bit easier for people to find it rather than have to go back dig through the agenda packets.
piece by piece,
Piece by piece.
which is pretty kind of tedious in that regard.
That would be my only thought.
And the
But if
misinformation,
somebody's going to go to the website for that,
I don't
Why not?
disagree with they're
Right.
halfway there.
why
Yeah.
can't they just
Yeah.
put in,
Yeah,
the
I
project
understand
that
what
they're
you're saying.
thinking is happening, and then they'll find it on the agenda. I don't know. I just think because it's not, those have not even come to the board yet. They're not, they may be proposed projects, but they are not projects yet. That's just my,
So then would the alternative be when those do come up to the board, we publicize it better? Is that-
just like 4 Mile, right?
Yeah.
Once the board agreed.
I mean, I guess I don't even know, is the plan to have some sort of listening meetings about anything that the board's deciding? I don't know.
I'd like to get back on
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
on values. What do you value for?
I think just keeping people informed, like whether you want to call it transparency or whatever role you want to do it, but just being open and communicative.
Moving on to vision, what would be, my vision would be to have 50% engagement of residents, which is a really, really high
It
bar.
seems really
I'm not even gonna say hi. I'm gonna say, keep dreaming, buddy.
That essentially means one person in every house is engaged.
That's-
What
Put it
hey,
Dwight,
put it different.
I have
No,
a
it is. I
question.
mean, there's
All right.
I have a
there's
question.
1,500 households.
What's
and there's like-
engagement to you and what's engagement to the person there? Engagement to someone could be reading the newsletter from their home.
or reading Stroll magazine?
Right.
Like,
That's
We're
it.
reading Stroll.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah, we
everyone's
call
got
it scroll
different
as a-
engagement or watching the videos on the website.
Right?
They don't have to come to the meeting until they, engagement's different for everyone. And I think you're never going to find one puzzle that fits it. And it's been talked about by every municipality how to engage engagement. And it's just not there. It's just not there. I know every municipality has it. Unless it's a hot topic that's going to be on the agenda, then that's
Well,
when you get
right,
people.
I think maybe
Well, do you
to
have
lead-
another
to lead
number?
the witness, we
Do you have
probably
another
to-
number in terms of it? And your point is well taken in
Right.
terms of residences as opposed to residents
Right.
Okay.
Right.
per household.
Right
What
now-
would be success?
Well, I don't know, because right now, look at just let's just take the newsletter. We have 1,700 residents. roughly.
Yeah, give all part. Sure.
And we have 80 of them signed up for the newsletter.
For the alerts,
Okay.
the newsletter has about
Oh, yeah. Sorry to put you on the spot.
I hear from people about the
169.
newsletter, not the alerts.
they love the newsletter.
Yeah.
So
I was going to use that as an example, so it's okay. I mean, I can tell you, like in my household, both my husband and I both are signed up for alerts. It's 2 different emails. Okay, so we count as 2.
Yep. I mean, I would think if you could get,
I
They
think
have
if
about
we can get
1,000 contacts on there.
okay,
And then those are people that probably don't live in the village too.
Right.
Stakeholders in the village. So you have to
Exactly.
think about that.
right.
I mean, I would say 1,000 out of a potential 1,500, even county is.
And we
probably
get
pretty
But
good
like you said,
penetration.
that's
Yeah, no, I
you
get
know,
it. It
our
counts.
click rate is about 62% of people opening the document. I don't know if they're reading it, but
So
open
that
it.
would be 650.
Charlie. To answer your question, if we could get 20%,
Yeah,
I would be
that would be like
happy.
just throwing a number in the dartboard. I would think if you could get 20% engagement in
Yeah.
some.
And make sure to guess residents or residences.
I think I would assume that if it's a resident, I think residences. I think if you could get 20% of the,
Mhm.
assuming that if there's 2 people in the house, that those people are talking to each other, so you could double it. So you're at like 40% of residents, people wise. So I mean, I guess that's not too much different than your 50% to be all.
But if you
about the-
combine the people that are reading the newsletter, 60% engagement there, and the people that come to the meetings, and then the people that get the alerts,
Some of
your
those are all
numbers
the
high
same
then
people.
right
Of
there.
course,
So then you get
Most
Yeah.
of those people are the same.
yeah, but then
You
your
know.
numbers right there on engagement. So I mean, people would read the e-newsletter if they
Okay.
weren't wanting to know.
Let me ask you this: how many people? I know how many people come to board meetings. No, we have more than one. Maybe like roughly on
like,
the average,
yeah.
maybe 4.
Yeah.
On average. How many people are calling into the office asking questions about things, getting emails about things? I mean, do you find this?
Emails
Like-
are the golf course is the big thing right now.
Okay.
Phone calls are why I got this letter in the mail about appraisal, or why I got they're not really project focused, or they're just more of like questions on what's this or this. There's sometimes questions on like, I'm in support of we've had this, I've been in support of the golf course. How can I come to the meeting? Oh, here, come to this date.
Right.
They just want to know how to, how can I come to this, or what to do at this. But they're not really like focused on like, I guess, many things. They're just kind of questions that answer right away. There's no follow
And
up.
do you get this constantly throughout the day? Would you say 50% of your phone calls are related to people saying, I don't know about this, I don't know how to do this, I don't know why this is happening?
My main phone calls are from Jeff. That's all I talk to in my life here. Jeff and Eric. No,
Yeah.
it's I mean, maybe 2 phone calls a day on issues related to the village. That's high.
Okay.
Some days none.
5 a week.
Unless there's the
That-
water's pressure is low, then we got like 40 in
Oh, of course.
a minute. And so I
Oh,
don't know
good
how you
Lord,
answer
we
the
had them
call.
on both websites or Facebooks, but anyway. So now I'll go back. Do you think our engagement is terrible within the village?
Yes,
Okay.
and not having a lot of experience, not having benchmarks to aim at. My impression is it's terrible.
Okay, and how do you think what do you think we can do better or different to increase engagement?
Well, 2 things, and we all get calls about, hey, this is going on or that's going on. And I guess the first thing is, if it's a personal inquiry provided verbally, you aim them at our website to get those letters. On the issues of deal with emails later. People that email us,
Mhm.
it would probably be, I don't want to even talk about that right now because how we handle emails is one of the things that we should discuss. Well, give me your question again.
Well, no, go on with how do you think we should handle emails? Because I can tell you when I was chairman of this committee, I had an idea on that. And
Please share it with me.
and I
'cause
was told absolutely not. So I thought if you're getting a lot of emails on a hot topic, rather than like, I wanted to make sure that the board was consistent in their responses to people. And I was told absolutely not. Everybody has their own way of thinking and responding, and everybody should just respond if they choose. You don't have to respond.
Don't reply all.
Pardon me?
Don't reply all.
No, of course you shouldn't even have to say that, right? Don't reply to all, and everybody had their own, thoughts on moving projects or the way we do things, and they should be able to tell any resident that. So your email response to a resident may be totally different than my response. But I got as communications, just like if the journal called you about something, you wouldn't want to give your personal opinion. You'd want to give a consensus of the committee opinion.
Yeah, and that's in the handbook. It's that if there's journal or anything like that,
Yeah,
media,
right.
and
Then
then if it's they're wanting a statement from like someone, it's the village president that gets the final statement. So, or if they want a committee chair, the committee chair gets a statement. So that's kind of that process. But
Yeah.
I mean, with forms of emails back to people, I mean, what if someone emails you about the golf course in your opinion, and you can't have a structured opinion on the golf course because all three of you could have a different opinion. So,
well, first of all, we don't have an opinion on the golf course because we don't really have the golf course. So
yeah, but I'm just using the hot topic issue as that's been
I
the
know.
issue. So
I know. I mean, I finally typed up a pretty much canned response because I thought I'm not going to do this all day long,
And I think in the handbook of like being an elected official, like I put there that like, you're going to get emails from people and it's your constituents, and the way you want to handle it is totally up to you. But you can always forward it to the village president and I've always let people, like Carmen does. I get every single email you guys get from residents. Carmen emails them to me all the time. So I know what's going on. So I see all the residents' emails. I'll respond if I need to, if there's some clarification, but most of the time I let them know, thanks for the update. Your elected officials are your decision makers on policy. I guide on making sure rules are followed and process, and staff are maintaining the process. And if there's any questions or opinions you need to feel like you need to get out, continue to contact your elected official.
So in that regard, if I choose to respond to a resident, maybe the first sentence would be, in my opinion, and I don't speak for the entire board. I don't think you can go wrong with that.
right?
No,
Yeah, and then there's no confusion.
Or if they're asking about the Ellers report, like there's a resident that was asking about how are you making these decisions? One could say, go to the Ellers tab on the project side, and this is how we're making our decisions by our financial advisors to help us guide us along the way to get through. Or our planning from R.A. Smith, they're the ones who are helping us. But we as a board have improved these processes to get to that point. We're not deciding, we're just going to do this, this, and this on the fly. We've consulted X, Y, and Z.
We've sat in 4 and 5 meetings,
workshops that
nobody attended. Yeah. Okay.
So so there's different ways of doing it for sure. I would strongly say you don't even have to respond. It's your position on the board, and that's if you're not going to respond, that's your choice.
I always consider a failure to respond to some form of communication as a rudeness. It's just like, Linda, how was your day? And she ignores me.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking, Linda, you're
Right. Now, sometimes I will say, thank you for your correspondence. Thank you for your email. It has been received. Or thank you for your email. It's been received and forwarded to somebody else. Or, yeah. I mean, I don't ignore completely, but I don't always engage. It depends.
I was just to the point of not responding.
Oh.
That would never be my choice. It would be, here's my opinion,
Right.
and that's that. So where do we wind up on vision? what percentage of households?
I think Jim and I,
Households are residents, whatever you between residents.
Well, that's a good question. It's hard to discern that, right? We could have a pretty high number of households and a low number of residents because, typically we have certainly probably 2.2, 2.3 residents per household. What number is that? I think you said 20,
We both said 20.
and that would have to turn into no less than. Do the work.
If you do households, I mean, it's
Yeah.
roughly.
people or households?
20% of what?
I don't know.
I would think
Households.
20% of households.
All
We'd
right.
say there's
Seven-
800. There's 800.
777.
Yeah,
Right?
it's 800, right?
777.
Uh-huh, that's how I remember that too.
So
Yeah.
just roughly- anyways, it would be if you did, it would be 160 households.
150. You're good. I had to use a calculator.
And
Why
what-
did I even?
That's why I made it 8.
Why do I even challenge an account?
I made it 8 so you could do 2 times.
So what's our current count on alerts?
Alerts.
There was the last update. I think I said it was 80.
There's 80 alerts, and I think you said roughly 1,000 people sign up for the newsletter.
So you have to kind of strength this 20% of households like doing what? Like coming to meetings or reading the newsletter?
We don't
Or
want them around.
but like what's their? I mean, again, what's engagement
Just
to
say, yeah.
someone? I need it's what is 20% of what?
Should we, 20% of what, should we define what the communication is? Is it newsletters? Do you think we're happy where we are on
I
newsletters?
think we're-
62% on roughly on newsletters.
But we don't know how many of those are outside the village. Correct.
But you could say roughly probably 55% maybe.
I'd say a little bit more. I'd hope, but
Yeah.
Do you think increasing that group would add a benefit to how we work as a board?
increasing
Engagement.
any engagement. But I don't know. So you would like to see a 20% increase of engagement in all platforms of communication
Not an increase of 20% to achieve the level
to
of
achieve.
20%. And with 1,000 on the newsletter, you might be there already.
Yeah. And we don't know what stroll, people doing stroll.
And you know that,
Yeah, I don't know if you count Stroll as an official engagement with the village.
right,
to be
we don't
fair.
have any,
I mean, there's good artists.
There are.
There
right?
is.
Like, it's
a
like,
copy
it's
of
like,
yeah,
it's like quasi. Yeah. I
Yeah.
would give you like half credit for it.
Right.
It's
I mean,
high school and
truly,
grade.
we get the administrator's newsletter in there, that's
Yeah.
it, so.
There's a
I mean,
lot of good information.
I was surprised at 1,000, to be
Okay.
honest. 1,000 seems like a good number. Like, even if you're going to scrub.
Oh, it's really good. I mean, that newsletter is great. I mean, during the storm, it was great.
And if you're going to tell me even if you told me half the people were,
on the
not
side.
necessarily residents.
When we put it out on the new about the golf course not being on the agenda, it kind of stopped people from calling and asking. So I mean, it works. It definitely newsletter works, and people talk about it. You guys, I've heard everyone talk about it. People come in here and talk about it. So I would say it's the best way of engagement we have in the village, and that's strong for a village to have that high of a.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And I did not have those numbers when I walked in this.
No, yeah.
How is
You
our
know-
analytics for Facebook going?
Oh, Facebook on the insights, if you push like that, it's roughly about 500 to people click on the box and then they read it. Sometimes 300 if it's a boring topic, like the collections calendar. But in Facebook, I mean, the golf course had over 1,000 people
Oh.
view it. So I mean,
Okay, we had like 1,400 views, up 17% in the last 28 days. So that's really good. Yeah. You're doing a good job on that.
we used to never utilize the Facebook page.
Right, I know.
And people love in-hand stuff, like anything that is in hand, I feel like, where people don't have to leave the comfort of their home. I just think it's like easy. And that's why people come on Zoom, I think more. You got sometimes people more on Zoom than you do in the room. So I think any way we can, there's someone that talked about, getting rid of Zoom last year during communications. And I said, no. I said, like, they're not getting rid of that. I said, that's easy. It's convenient, and then the channels on YouTube now, we used to never record the meetings. Now they're always recorded. So it's like,
sorry. Those numbers I just gave you were my Wind Meadows page.
Oh.
Sorry.
I think they're pretty high though on Facebook too. I mean, we don't get a lot of people liking things, but and the view of things, it's pretty high.
Oh, okay. You blew ours out of the water. You have like 32,000 views. Up 100 or up 17%, up 71%. Yeah, your engagement. And your engagement is like 2.2 million. No, thousand. And you're up 400% on followers in this month. So that's all good. Okay.
Well, then
I thought it sounded low when I was rattling that up.
Maybe then we're really okay on the level of engagement.
Yeah, you could be. I mean, I think.
Of course, you're going to say it. I want to hear from these.
No, I'm just going to say. I was just curious.
Are...
I'm like, you remember when Jeff said, like people don't venture out. He was against doing the engagement session at Windspread. People don't go out after COVID. They don't want to go to groups. They don't want to do things. They don't want to it's just changed a little bit. And but I think technology is key to everything, and that's why I think the website we've done and investing in technology is like huge for the
village. I think it has to be both. To be honest, like I think people want the ease of technology, but I think for stuff that's important, I think that you still need to have some modicum of face to face.
And I think so too. And I'm not sure if it's face to face or getting a mailing every,
No, I don't know anybody that reads.
I know, but I'm telling you, you have to look at the at the demographics of our community.
Yep.
What about how many people get a newspaper?
My husband, you can give him shit about it later, gets a newspaper every day.
Well, that's
and
good
reads that newspaper.
We
every
spend
day.
Money to put notices and things in the newspaper.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
But I'm always like,
in the village get a newspaper here still.
But I read it online. I mean, it's 3 days old information anyway. So,
Well, by the way, the price of the Journal Times
it's high.
to be delivered, they don't
It's
want to do that.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive.
Well, our bill to put it in there is like $110.
Right.
So,
but I, to your point, I do think, I have aging parents, and they don't call me for medical. They don't call me for anything except for one thing. My phone isn't working. My computer isn't working. I'll turn that little button up and it'll ring. And, it's just the technology that older people don't quite get. And we are an aging community. So I do think there has to be a little bit of a hybrid. I don't know what it is.
well, and the nice part that, Stroll magazine goes to everyone for free. We don't have to worry about paying a large amount of postage to get things to people, which I tell Gary, hey, can you put this in here? Sure, I can do that.
Right.
Thank you.
And I think you do a good job like recapping everything that's going on in your article every month.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
you do a terrible job. What?
No, we get people that like it. I mean,
Yes.
It's there because people, I don't know.
Right.
And I give it to Gary ahead of time, put the newsletter. So it's always, trying to be not behind on the,
Right.
I give him right on the 15th every time. I'm like, he's hard on that one. So I got to start the newsletter like this week for October. So I'm making sure like we're not delaying by the time it gets, to people's hands and it's old information.
So I know that goes, we know that goes out to 100% of our residents.
Yeah. And there was an executive summary in the Stroll magazine for the budget that indicated water rate increases in the newsletter.
Right.
So
that's 100%. We have great Facebook. We have great newsletter. So it really alerts.
And we could see by the time we get details, maybe a month, 2 months after the postcards go out, we could reconvene and say, here's a new number, or here's the postcard didn't work, and people threw it out or didn't care.
So what's it? So let's say postcards did not increase engagement, what would be some alternative methods of engaging?
Driving to somebody's house and saying, get in my car, I'll take you to the office. I don't know. All right, let me think about that.
Well, and it's fun because like when we've done like events, like I brought the sign up sheet, so then they like have it. And Carmen shared it on Facebook. He said,
Right.
fill this out, bring it back to the village. So I
Have
know
you
like
got any back?
no.
I was thinking like at the picnic to do like a QR code that people people could take.
That's a good idea. Little
But
sign.
yeah, how many people were at the picnic? Adults,
Picnic was disappointing. in
29?
terms of
I was
attendance.
thinking probably the best opportunity was at Jess in the Park. Just like so.
That's hard too because there's a lot outside.
Outside,
residents that
yeah.
come.
But I think there were 29 adults at the picnic, and half of those were volunteers.
And the other half were bored.
Make sure you weren't talking about business there. Okay.
I wasn't even there.
I said my spouse. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the committee's beating themselves up on like you've got a good crowd. You're doing all the right things. We're going above and beyond also, and I think I don't know.
Have you heard of any other municipalities doing anything different than we're doing that you can think of? Like,
I can check. I'll be at a conference in a couple of weeks and can see what they're doing.
okay,
If they've got any ideas, I'll tell them, hey, we do this, this, and this. And check with them.
okay, that might be helpful.
Very helpful. Yeah, the more information we can push in the newsletter. If we take a look at some of the projects, they're highly involved in terms of multiple documents to try to get a handle on it, right? So you just look at formal, seems pretty straightforward, but there's probably, to get the whole concept, 4 or 5 rather technical documents that you have to absorb to understand the nature of the project and the cost of the project.
Right. But that's on the website and they're all there and they're all under like Former Road projects. And then if you go down, it says related pages. And then those are listed on the related pages.
I'll add the golf course. I'm not going to add anything other than what you've seen in the packet. There's nothing else to add.
From the standpoint of the golf course, what we were presented with is an idea, which is a lot of work short of an actual plan.
And I'm going to suggest we don't do that. Because you're going to get a lot of questions about the golf course and we don't have any control over the golf course.
We already get a lot of questions.
I know. And I tell people, go talk to Corey Mason. Go ask Corey Mason what he's doing.
Well, I've heard he hasn't told the common council yet.
I know. I heard that. Well, that's another story. I'll tell you that one later. It's not been an approved project.
And I tell people
Unless something happened in PFIC that I don't know about this morning. So
no,
Okay.
there's nothing on the
Okay.
agenda for that. But
You
I
know.
mean, it's. I don't mind putting that out there and then putting a little blurb that we put out on Facebook saying like, no action has been taken yet, or what was in the newsletter. I'll put that. I mean, I'll put that in that. Then people might not call because they'll see, the golf course.
are
There
you
might be
doing the parking lot or are you doing the golf course?
you're thinking of a hypothetical question right now?
No, that's a direct question.
Oh, I was just gonna put the statement that we put out.
No.
on Facebook.
What do you want to put out regarding the project? The parking
Just-
lot
just the-
or the whole golf course?
Just the packet that has been submitted to the board and the statement that was on the newsletter.
Mhm.
See, I just like Craig. I think Craig was nice enough to share with a lot of the members of different committees his schematics of a golf course. But I think if you put that out there under a project, people are going to think we have some control
that's our-
over.
yeah.
Why are you doing a 12 course? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you go talk to Craig? Yeah. I don't want to field all those questions when it's not something we can control.
I think it's fair to say that the information we ought to put out on golf course and parking lot would be the information that counteracts the misinformation that's going around.
Okay, so how about doing a summary sheet
Executive summary.
of the golf course project, what we know to date? And that would
That
be
could change.
the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because
Yes, it can. That's
he's
why.
asked me how can I get a certain individual on my side? I said, I don't know, you talk to them. He goes, okay, and he'll call and I'll say, all right, that could change, that some person might want to talk to him and the negotiations might change in the final, perspective if it happens, lease or agreement, and maybe he
it
gives
happens-
you $5 instead of $1.
That's why I just don't think, I know, like Craig was like, oh, we'll give $1. We haven't even negotiated any of that. I just think it's too early to put that out there.
Excuse me.
The board has not discussed this yet.
I think the information that should be put out there is just to counter the misinformation. So the first thing is, hey, it ain't our golf course. That's the
Okay.
very first thing you say. And it's really up to the city of Racine
I mean,
to determine what they want to do.
in
with
terms
that
of
golf.
priorities, if we're gonna talk about potential projects, it feels like the village building we have more control over and seems further along. So if we're gonna entertain potential projects, I think we should start the discussion there, would be my suggestion.
Well,
We have more information, we have more control.
Under
more
the
details.
But then you have to decide if you're going to start putting out potential projects to the public.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
So-
like, right, like, but I'm just saying if we're rating the two between. the
Oh,
golf
no, I
course
understand that.
and the,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We definitely have more.
It's easy to create a tab on the website. I could just
Mhm.
add the documents that shows the 3D schematic.
But it hasn't been approved. It's still in design. I'll vote against it.
I don't know that I would vote for either of them. I'm just saying, like, talking about the golf course seems.
I think if somebody
Even more.
wanted, really, they could type in Shoop Golf Course on our website and get all of that information. I think putting it out is too early. There's been no decision made by the board. And no recommendation from the committee, committees.
I don't think there was a formal decision in PFIC.
Right.
I think it was a consensus, a scan for consensus in the room.
Right.
But in that regard, so a project like that should just have, it's not our project. That's the first sentence. And the second sentence is
All right.
an executive summary. It says,
How
hey,
about in the newsletter, you address this?
Right.
And just say, there's been several residents who have questioned, and then put the facts out. I think I know what you're pulling up. Oh, no, I don't.
It said, if you want, do you want me to read it?
pretty please.
As some may have heard, the village of Wind Point has been contacted by a developer expressing interest in upgrading Shoot Park Golf Course. Officials and staff have a preliminary discussion with the development team, but plans remain in a conceptual stage. Nothing has been approved. Although owned by the city of Racine, Shoot Park is located in Wind Point. As such, the village has jurisdiction over only the building, zoning, and other permits required by the village code. If the project does move forward, it will be so primarily under the Wind Point Authority. Additional review will be required by Racine as the property owner and the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Village staff will remain in communication with the development team and will continue to provide updates.
Shame on me for not remembering that. So, there you go.
I'll also accept some of that shit. No, that's perfectly written. In
And that
any
was the
case,
newsletter, right?
And Facebook. A lot of people like the comments were great on that one. They're like, oh, good. They thought that, we were expanding into Lake Michigan. Well, someone said.
Oh, I've heard people, you're selling the property? I go, first of all, we don't own it, and Racine's not selling it.
I mean, it's clearly
Yeah.
states like, it'll happen with our codes, but not owned by us,
Right.
operated by
Yeah.
the city, although located in the village.
Right.
And it
And people
works.
ask questions. Oh, somebody's like, how can they take down all those trees? I go, if you took down trees in your backyard, there's no ordinance against that. Like, you can do whatever you want. as long as it follows the ordinance
Sounds done right
and
away.
zoning and right away, right?
Not plant any trees.
You know,
right away.
yeah.
Or too
No, that's
close
not
to-
planting. We're talking about removing.
Yeah.
No,
Sure,
too,
yeah. And with a few hundred feet, or
Right.
certainly within 100 feet of the shoreline.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have other
Yes.
opinions
Yes.
about whether the tree should stay put.
So I
Well-
mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot.
Well, I think you've done a great job communicating.
Good writer.
Thanks.
Yes.
I mean, very good writer.
Thanks. Sometimes I have a spelling mistake or two, but
That doesn't count. Really doesn't.
take credit for
So the
that.
funny thing is, it's often underlined in red.
Oh,
So do we feel, so we are doing multiple modes of communication. At least two of those are push. Is there a third push that penetrates a little deeper into the residences? I'm not so sure there is.
There's a time where I would like to say Twitter, but I think that's not really.
We have an Instagram now.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
that pushes directly from Facebook though, right?
Yep. So
But you do get different users.
Oh, absolutely.
So I-
No, no,
I-
no, no.
I think that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like my understanding is Instagram is skews younger.
that's why we came up with that one. Because we're like, well, Facebook's for
Old people.
Oh,
Shut up.
I wasn't gonna say old, I was just gonna say
Older,
mature people.
older.
We got a couple gray hairs in the
Yeah.
room. So,
I'm on my.
we have more than a couple. Three of us anyway. Okay.
But yeah, Instagram has been good. I mean, it's slow, but it's working.
I don't think I have any more to add, and I don't believe, just based on this, that the majority of this was for my benefit to understand where this is headed. And I'll take any open comments from my other two committee members in regards to this. Do we need to make a formal statement of values and vision?
I mean, I read through the guidebook that was attached, and it seems like it mirrors kind of what we were talking about to a large extent. I think transparency might even be in there.
Well, in what I wrote for mission is utilize several different modes of engagement. Well, I think we're doing that. Direct mail, postcard, QR code to make another blast. I think we might want to do this, when it comes up this fall, when you're ready, and then maybe do the same thing in the spring when things get a little busier.
Yeah.
But
Spring's my easy time. I love the spring. From summer to fall, winter, that's the hard part. Especially when there's no election, it's nice.
I mean, when I look at our means of communication, I think they're effective. I don't think we're really lacking. But that's why I said, if you know of something other municipalities are doing, I'm certainly not a communications expert.
Yeah.
But if you do, and we have a room full of others.
We use press releases. I don't know, and I'm not really gonna use press releases because they would just go to the paper and I can send them to the
No.
paper. But
We're not.
we've done media advisories with Mount Pleasant on things.
Right.
But
And we have engagement. We have in-person engagement. We have the stroll. We have the website. We have the newsletter. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. That's 7 different
it Stroll's nice because
platforms.
there are things like at conferences, magazines that you can buy, and it's a lot
But
for
we
like
have our own, right.
rec departments to use like their, here's the ballet dancing group today, and you can sign up here, like things like that. But thank God we don't have to pay for a subscription to put a newsletter together or something like that because it's just easy to bring to Gary, and
Right.
Gary likes our relationship, and boom, it goes.
just I thought, if you come back with half a good idea about alternate forms of engagement, I'd see that as a successful conference. That's why you go anyway.
Yeah.
Is to get ideas.
Networking with the others to see what's going on there. So
Oh, I feel a little bit more confident. I would like to see some communications on the proposed municipal building, whether it's been improved or not. There's a lot of hours in there. And I think that any form of communication on golf course, and these are just ideas right now, or on municipal building, should focus more on providing correct information to counter misinformation. That the old Mark Twain, lie will go around the world twice before the truth gets its pants on in the morning. And I think misinformation travels at a much higher rate of speed than information.
I'm working on to back that with that. We're getting an executive summary right now on the municipal building, kind of going over the 2010 study. I just had to scan it all because we don't have any document of it, like other than a paper document. So I like to copy some of the information to get that. I've been scanning it to get that information on there, and then got to add kind of what's, where we're at now, kind of like the process, it's been so, and I can attach that to the website, and that would, just give an executive summary that from the 2010 study to now, why we're here, what the board and the finance committee have done so far.
But not schematics and not
No.
numbers. Okay.
No numbers?
No, we have, well, I say no to numbers. They're there if somebody really wants to look, but I just think because we have not as a board approved any number at all,
Good point.
then you're gonna, I don't know.
I think that
I don't want to get a phone call saying, oh, you're going to spend how much? And I'm gonna say, we haven't spent any, we haven't approved this.
Or worked with a contractor to bring that number down.
Right, I mean, we are working, yeah,
A construction manager, your hope is to work with them to bring some
Right.
money down.
right,
So
I don't know. I just think you're setting a precedence if you start putting proposed projects out there.
I mean, my comment would be this seems to be a little more than proposed at this juncture, but
I don't mind putting the executive summary.
the only thing I would put out there would be just a landing page to link it to the other stuff that's or just a centralize all the other information that's already been out there for people to kind of catch up versus have to.
As long as they know it's a proposed. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good to add in the executive summary. We're gonna get 3 quotes on how much it is to update this whole building to get ADA compliant. That's what was recommended by the finance committee.
God
So,
bless them.
I said, all right, we'll do that.
Would an elevator be included?
No, not an elevator. No, I'm gonna get a ramp, one of those chair, like the
Chairlift?
yeah, the chair.
You don't have, it's not wide enough for a chairlift.
But I'm always not wide enough. I'm gonna lose my office probably.
Like I said, good luck. Okay.
So I can add that, but it'll be a working document, so
Okay.
I can work on finishing it up and attach it to the
Okay.
website. So I've had it, I just haven't find it to be what it should be. So I've been working on
And you have all the documents from 2010 when the study was done.
Yeah, and Dave just emailed them to you as well. So I saw the emails
Oh.
come through. So he must have a copy of it as well. So I have a hard copy I've offered to the board. It might be, when did I offer that copy? I don't remember. I've offered it a couple times for someone to come pick it up if you want to ever read it, but no one's ever picked it up. So if anyone wants it, but you just got to bring it back.
Oh, yeah.
But you all have an electronic copy I saw come through. So
Okay, that's perfect. So I think the executive summary is exactly what we ought to be talking about in that, and to try to contain misinformation on all these projects.
Mhm.
yeah, I can do that. I don't mind.
It has come to, when are you publishing the YouTube meeting?
It's on now. Finance committee's on now. I added it
Okay,
during
so virtually same day.
yeah,
Okay,
Within 48 hours.
yeah.
You want to say? I don't want you to go, it's going to be the same
yeah.
day.
Parts. I mean, it was just easy because it downloaded. It was short today, which is
Right.
nice. But
But there are times when you run from one
like
meeting
parts
to
meeting,
another.
yeah,
I
parts meeting
just-
won't be added until tomorrow sometime.
I just think we should say it, set an expectation of 48 hours.
Yeah, they're on there now. So
Okay.
yeah.
And if you exceed the expectation, like you normally do, that's great. But I mean, are you good with 48 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Within 48 hours, Jim?
Excuse me, I'm digging up another piece of information.
Oh, your husband's wanting to join.
Say no.
You might as well just stay for parks, and I could just take you over to life.
Can he give me a ride too?
Yeah, you can all hang out here.
You have soda pop? One of the other things that's come into discussion is the public comment portion of,
Do we, just to close out, do we need to do something with item 6, like as a committee, or we can just move to 7? Do we need to agree to table it, or
What was
thank you
six
very
then?
much.
Are you comfortable with like moving it like
just a
with
review,
something new,
review and possibly take action on
or do you want to keep what the village has?
On what? What is 6?
the mission, vision, and
Yeah, do we want to take action
Oh.
on it? I almost think it's,
I think we had a good discussion. I don't know
I
if
think
there's any
that-
action.
I think the discussion
Yeah.
really covered the points that I want to, you know, and I don't think there's any disagreement of what our job here
I
is.
just meant from a procedural standpoint.
No, that's, yeah, exactly. Public participation, I'm moving on to 7 here. Public participation in meetings. Should that, rather than a statement without response, is there a form in Roberts where we can answer questions to those seated?
No. 'Cause
It's at the discretion.
Yeah,
of-
but that's like not what your meetings are
Sure.
purposed
No.
for.
No, I understand
But
that completely.
It is at the discretion of the chair.
So at the board meeting, if you want the Madam Chair to engage with something, you could ask, you know,
Yeah.
I guess permission to engage. You could say motion to engage. I don't know what it would say on the postcard. I don't have mine handy. And I bring it. It's in my little
Right.
pocket, but
But that's not what it's for.
I agree
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
you know, but sometimes people,
Well, and sometimes somebody will say something and it's like you said, misinformation. And I'm like chomping at the bit to say, no, you have that wrong. This is it, you know, and I don't and can't.
oh, and I have
But-
emails of everyone.
okay,
that, you know,
Maybe this is on there and I apologize. I don't have my agenda in front of me and I read it last week when it came in or 2 weeks ago because it came in early. Because somebody's on the ball. No. I think I'm concerned with that when somebody has a public comment, how are we communicating back with an answer to that person? Because I have heard from a couple people saying, you know, oh, I never got a response. I made a comment and didn't, get a response back. I said, well, did you make a comment or did you make a question? 2 different things too. So I guess
Yeah,
that would be my
it depends
question.
on, I guess, the topic of like how you. Yeah.
Do we have a policy for how we respond to public comment?
No, there's no policy on that, but we have the clipboard where they sign it. It's a specific topic we could add on that clipboard. We could add, do you contact me back, like check mark.
I would almost think that everybody would want to be contacted back if they took the time to come with a concern or question,
Or they learned something at the meeting.
or they learned something at the meeting. Yeah, you're right. All right.
So I could contact me back, kind of check mark, and and I can follow up and say, hey, I could call and say, hey, like, did you not get your answer questioned or what's,
Yeah,
so-
I guess I would ask, like, so for the person that said they didn't get a response, do you remember what, like, vaguely what they were?
What it was, sure, it was branch collection. They came with their concern with branch collection being eliminated
Sure.
and came with a what do you call it?
we referred it back to the committee and we
But then
highlights.
did anybody
We
go
did.
back to him?
We did. Her voting no.
Okay. All right.
So was this at one of the, like at the Public Works meeting here? Or it must have been before I was on the board.
Because you just came on when we decided the policy, and so Charlie wanted to bring it back, and her wanted to bring it back to the committee, and then we had a discussion and kept it.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't move forward because it stopped.
Right. As long as the resident, so he was just mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess sorry, to finish my thought with every meeting that I've been at so far, all the public comments seem like they were addressed at the meeting. So I was wondering if there was something that was like,
Right.
if it sounds like it was before I was at the board, or maybe it was.
Well, Linda, you might be the very first person to initiate answers to questions or misinformation on your next meeting in a couple hours.
Well, no, I probably won't, because I'll write down their name and then I'll give a, if they talk, then I'll give a phone call or an email.
I'll add a check box to that. I think that would be nice. Add touch to the sheet.
Okay.
I think that's absolutely a very reasonable answer. Excuse me, very reasonable policy is if the chair allows it, and a vote of the sitting committee members to propose answering questions, and that's either a vote yes or vote no. Is that the way you envision this, or is it up to the chair alone?
It's up to the chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even so.
Because I'm
Okay, let's take my meeting at 3:00, and let's say there's a resident that comes in and is making a comment and questions and more comments, and Charlie's like, whoa, that's not right. So Charlie could make a motion to ask the chair to allow me to respond, and that would be at my discretion. Is that
kind of just like time extensions on our discretion of the committee chair. So
right?
follow up is discretion at the
Right.
committee chair.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, but truly, yeah, it's not really done.
So this does not have to be a motion approved by the entire board. It's just committee by committee gets to decide this.
The committee chair decides if they want any engagement with the public, or you as a committee person can ask the committee chair.
Motion to.
Motion to ask the committee chair to allow you to address. And don't be surprised when I say no.
I've offered a counter to this too. I talked to you about this. I said I can sit in between the committee chair and the person and the village president to help manage kind of disruptions and kind of keep on the agenda topics, to filter those out. I said I really don't want to get to that point, but I've seen other administrators who sit next to them and then they're kind of a little more on the topics. But it's up to, I really don't want to get to that point. But I can have each committee chair sit next to me and the village president at the beginning. So
very frankly, I think that sort of engagement is important, and I think that this proposed method to allow the chair to decide to answer questions, this perfectly satisfies me. 100%.
Okay.
And it's not so much as to provide, the chair should respond with correct information when incorrect and misinformation is provided during public comment.
Right. But what that does is opens up for the next resident to say, oh, I have a question about this. I have a question about this. And expect the same engagement.
well, and I don't want it to be a debate either. And you're gonna be like,
Or debate, yeah.
then it's like nonstop. Well, like, what do you mean? Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Why did you think of
What
that?
you do for one, you have to, that you have to do, but you're setting precedents if you're going to start open conversations.
Well, it's up to you as a chair.
And it's up to you as a chair, it's up to the chairperson,
Yeah,
absolutely.
But my sense of the 3 or 4 meetings I've been to is that it's been handled fairly intelligently. So I think to Charlie's point, the current policy seems to be.
Yeah.
to a certain degree.
The current policy being chair's
Yeah, I
discretion.
think, Allison has entertained, the handful of people that wanted to go over, that, it seemed to be meaningful. And I think we've stopped people that have kind of, drummed on for,
Right.
well in excess of, 3 minutes.
I thought when this was on your agenda, I thought you were going to ask for public comment to be moved
Just,
down instead of at the beginning, more at the end, because then they may have a question about something we've spoken about.
that would be sure, that would be fine, but this actually answers, this directly addresses what I perceive to be the problem in public comment currently, which is that stand up, iterate a bunch of misinformation that goes unanswered.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
All right.
And
I know you're not going to like this, but I think public comment should be moved to the bottom. Because a lot of people may have a comment about something that they've heard us talk about, either a question or a comment, and they can make those at the end after they've, like, if we're discussing XYZ. And somebody.
You don't have to convince me,
Okay.
convince him, because
Who?
I'm James.
Oh.
I like the end also.
We did this, I'll let you give your spiel in a minute. We did this at Wind Meadows because a lot of people were like, wait, I didn't even know. I mean, I saw it on the agenda, but I didn't know to what extent the subject was going to cover. And I had a comment about it, about what you guys discussed, or I had a thought about it or a concern about it, but I couldn't say anything because my public comment was at the very beginning of a meeting. I just don't think it belongs there.
How do you, if it's not at the end, or sorry, if it's not at the beginning, other than email before the meeting, how do we get people to engage
Before you vote.
before you vote?
That's my concern.
Matter's already been decided.
Excellent point.
So at least you hear
Okay.
people's feedback.
Well, here's
before
the
you
problem.
vote.
When Meadows puts a one-line thing on what it is, they don't exactly go into
Yeah.
any detail, and they don't give a packet. Okay, it can stay for beginning. All right,
Are you still happy with the beginning?
I am
Because that's-
absolutely thrilled with it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, we don't give a packet
Right.
of information. Yeah,
Because then otherwise,
yeah, so they don't know. Okay, I'm good. That makes sense. Thank you for talking through that.
Budgets. Give me another post. Anybody else have something?
I was gonna suggest something the same. So, I think that-
Yeah.
so 2 postcards or 1 postcard?
We got one this year.
Yeah.
And what-
That's this year, and then one.
Well,
this
you
year.
could do something in the tax.
We have the tax bill insert we have
Tax
to pay
bills.
for.
I'm sorry, what?
The tax bill insert we pay for, that gives us,
Ah,
last year we did on the revaluation. So every resident gets that. And we said that, yes, Allison, usually sometimes the village president puts a message in there of bragging of what has happened in the village. I suggested we do the revaluation, so she was fine with that. And then we did a quick blurb on accomplishments for the village, and then we've done a lot of mailers though for the 4 Mile Road project, so that's eating up a lot of budget too. So
but that's a localized mailer though.
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
What, I don't know if I can say this, it's not really on the agenda, but it does fall under communications and engagement. What do you think about doing an end of the year meeting, resident meeting, like an annual meeting? And it would be the residents meeting. So we could, you were good at that meeting, and they are beneficial and they are well attended.
Are you talking about the Wood
At
Meadows?
Wind Meadows, they do an annual meeting, they do a recap of what happened throughout the year, and then it's an opportunity for residents to ask any question and get an answer immediately to the questions.
The December board meeting, there's usually nothing in the December meeting. The budget's been passed.
What do you think, Jim? I know you.
So,
Sorry.
um, think it makes sense, as long as the format, as long as there's kind of some guardrail around the formatting, I would be open to it.
Where would the locale be?
White House.
What can we
New-
see in there?
new-
50 maybe?
New municipal building. Who's on there? Nobody.
New municipal tent.
They're listening to me.
So this is like a company's annual meeting where shareholders
Yeah.
show up.
Show up. They get a 1-page handout of, there you go with maybe one-liners, proposed projects or something. And, there's it's like an open dialogue communication.
What was your turnout
So it was good. It's always been good.
estimate?
Full room.
75.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys are sneaky over there with your agenda. So
Either one.
you guys are a little sneaky. You guys have no government rules over it.
Oh, I know.
So it's like a, if they do one thing, they can go into closed session for anything, and then people are
And
like,
they
"Oh, what
do.
are you doing? What are you?" Because we
And
hear
they
it.
do.
We hear it now.
And they do.
The board.
So
Yeah.
I think you'd probably get a different turnout than you probably do here because you probably want. What did you talk about closed session on October? blah, blah,
No,
blah."
you can't ask that. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Yeah, we have good turnout. 100 people, 75 people.
Would you like to put that in a motion to go up to the big board?
We could just talk about the
Turning our December board meeting.
yeah. You can, as your summary for the board. I guess when you give your report, I would say the committee's looking to do something in December for
Calling it an annual instead of a.
end of the year meeting.
Yeah.
And if we could just get ahead of nods of people are fine with that being the December meeting.
I mean, you're talking about engagement, and
But I
there's
would-
another opportunity
Yeah,
that it really doesn't say, "Oh, come to our December board meeting." It says, "Come to our annual meeting. This is your meeting."
We still open it up with your formal stuff. And then
Well, yeah.
so,
But then it's
yeah.
And that would be an end of meeting.
You could still call it an annual meeting.
No.
Because
I mean,
December.
where's it placed in a normal board meeting? Is it at the beginning or at
Oh.
the end?
Well, I don't think it's placed. I think you just called it our December board meeting an annual meeting.
Oh, I would just call it, you have your call to order roll call, citizen
Right.
comment would be gone. You would approve your meeting minutes from November, and then you'd be like, all right, this is the time now. We've moved into almost like a public hearing, your annual meeting for end of the year.
Agenda. I mean, an annual meeting
And that'll
agenda.
last for 1 hour.
Yeah.
I think
So you could have each committee chairperson or board member,
Or
give
we
a
could-
little.
break you up into groups, and we could have this is the chair of the finance committee.
don't-
This is
Yeah,
the-
then I'll have a long line out the door
Yeah.
and I'll be sitting here twirling my thumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like you could
No.
limit it to, agenda topics from the past year, right? So
Right.
kind of keep people
Okay.
in the lane, and maybe you give people you limit each discussion to 5 minutes. If a resident would pre-register, right? So then you'd have 2 minutes for them to state their thing, and then there would be a discussion for 2 or 3
Right.
minutes.
Yeah. And answers and
And then that would,
Right.
anything longer than that would have to be tabled, or you'd have to find a different forms. So something that
So it-
allows access,
right.
but because the concern would be if you have 50 people show up, I don't know that you would, right? But you could, right?
Right.
50 people would be easy if you did breakouts.
It would.
Yeah,
But I think
much
you-
easier with
But to a
breakouts.
certain extent, you have to have the format delineated beforehand. I would imagine if it's going to be done in open meeting.
See, the only thing about breakouts is if I'm talking to you as that chair.
Did you run into walking quorum issues on a breakout type thing too? You didn't really have to think through the formatting.
No,
No.
not really, because we did that. We
We
tried
did.
this last year.
But see, I think if I'm talking to you about something, then they've already addressed this with this person, this person, this person. I get done with you, I go here. He's answering the same questions multiple times.
Yeah, so it's a meeting in
Yeah,
common.
so I think, I don't think the breakouts is.
But yeah, I
Yes.
guess I would just want to make sure everybody that showed up got a
Right,
chance.
right. And some
And then
people
you-
just come to listen,
Sure they would.
you know,
Right.
Well, I'll tell you this, I love that idea. Just love it.
So, and I mean, I just said 5 minutes and 3 minutes. However you wanted to do it, I don't know what the.
It takes the edge
And
off
do a
of
little-
misinformation.
Right.
That's the great benefit.
okay, so you're gonna recommend that to the board?
Yes.
If there, I mean, it doesn't have to be a motion or anything, just a nod of the head because
Mhm.
Allison helped set the agenda. So yeah, we can just kind of thumbs up if everyone's okay with it after that.
No, I'm more than okay with it. I think it's a terrific
It's
idea.
fine. No
And
more holiday
it's-
party for you.
What?
We did a holiday party last year for December because there was nothing on the agenda, so we did a big get
Oh, well, maybe I'll have one at my house.
together. Like Susan?
Huh?
Didn't Susan used to do those?
Oh, I don't know.
Susan
Did she?
said,
Yeah, this is what was that?
I have one at my house.
She
for-
asked me to bartend the
Yeah.
first year.
Oh, really?
As a board member? Wait, oh, you weren't on the board then?
No, I was a board member.
You
Yeah.
had a bartender at your own party?
Well,
I heard
it wasn't
they were-
my party, it was her party.
I heard she had a good, yeah, they were fun. I've heard they were,
I think it was just, they were very nice.
Entertaining.
And it was kind that she asked me, and it was even more kind where I agreed.
Yeah.
So,
because Allison told me when we did the Owens for the lighthouse, she was like, I don't have the space to host, so thank God you're doing it at the lighthouse.
Oh.
So we could always do it at Wood Meadows. We could just transfer over there. You guys have the access, got the
Oh, we have
code.
to pay. I have a code. But we have to pay for that.
Oh,
I have nothing else. Does it, for the good of the village?
The only thing I'd ask maybe to be put, unless this is to be put on the next agenda, is unless it's administrative policy to do this, is that we discuss qualifications for resident of the year and
oh, you have that.
Yeah. And
I'll give you the feedback on what I thought. Yeah.
okay,
when do we want to do?
unless that's something.
Could we? I would like to push that off until like January, maybe next year.
Yeah, well, there's no real hurry. I just want to make sure next year when we're thinking about who we're going to give this to, that we do have some.
Maybe December, January, we can bring that back. That's fine.
Yeah, what do we call the other one? Company of the year?
Organization.
Organization of the year.
Yeah, citizen award and organization.
So
Okay.
how many different Johnson divisions are in the village?
No. Yeah,
Well, that one will kind of run out when it runs out. So I mean,
right.
right. But at the community club.
Well, and that's
What if
like,
you just
okay,
change- What if you just change it?
No,
to,
I-
like the outstanding organization, or if you like, don't make it annual sounding, like take off of the year.
That's probably a good idea.
So then you're not bound to give it out every year.
Yeah.
right.
Did we
Like
say?
win points,
And it could be easier to be forgotten.
organization of excellence
Yeah,
or something.
I don't think we put annual, so yeah, that works. I think we just put organization. So, because you might not get a citizen that's qualified either. Yeah. But
Well, so we have those qualifications set and parameters, you know. So yeah, January, just, I don't want it to get lost. is all.
I added that to referrals. So
Thank you. Anything? Anybody else?
right there.
Nothing.
Listen, thank you, because a lot of stuff got clarified
That's
for
what
me
I-
today.
Yeah,
And I think I'm in much better shape than when I walked in here. So that's nice. And, yay. And I don't entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
32.
Sure you don't
It's 3
stick around.
Might as well.
I'm just heading over there shortly.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, by the time I went home,